Yep, here we go again. Where is Brenda from Bristol when you need her? Okay, yes, another one is coming. Another potential early election, snap general election by the Tory government. I don't even know what's going on anymore in the country. The government is all over the place, but because the opposition is also all over the place, I can imagine why some of the Tories were seeing an opportunity for a potential victory next year, potentially next autumn. One of the Tory advisors, David Casini, has presented a top five priorities. And everything depends on how this week goes, by the way, which we're going to talk about in this video. But essentially, they've told the Tory HQ, CCHQ, and the government to be ready, be on standby for an early general election, as if people haven't had enough of chaos. But David Canzini has presented a slideshow presentation. Yep. Top five priorities. There's been a bit of backlash here as well. So they've said, well, delivering on the promises of Brexit Britain, that's on top of the list. I was still waiting for that, by the way, but yeah, thanks for keeping that for the next election instead of actually doing it now. So they get us to vote for you. Yep, well done. Very, very smart. David says, if you don't think that's a priority, you shouldn't be here. Can you say that to yourself and your boss? Because this should have been done by now. But yeah, you might say we've had the pandemic to deal with. Sure, yeah. A lot of the Brexit benefits could have been sorted with or without any of the lockdowns. Then there's a cost of living crisis, was second. Cool. Second, okay. The NHS. Yep. And crime and migrant votes. Why are we falling for this every single time? These are the problems that existed for ages, and every election, they use them as priorities, so we vote for them, for the promises, and then next election, they would use the same priorities instead of actually solving these priorities. Now, one of the other government advisors said, it's a strange list of priorities. We're on the brink of a generational cost of living crisis, and yet Brexit was top of the list. I love how this is a classic Westminster bubble debate. They're debating whether, this should be number one, it should be number two. Nobody cares about that. The fundamental problem that we have with you guys is that you're not getting anything done, and you're using these promises every single election. So we vote for you, and then you're going to repeat the cycle. Now, everything depends on this coming week, next tomorrow, and the reaction to Rishi Sunak's budget announcement, because everything about this spring's statement is shouting chaos. Right now, there's a bit of a row between Rishi Sunak and Boris Johnson, especially when it comes to energy security, fracking, and nuclear energy. And now they're talking about the actual economics of it, whether they should focus on national insurance cuts, or whether they would find a different way to help the economy and the ordinary people. And this row is going to continue until tomorrow. Now, government sources have said that scrapping or delaying the national insurance was off the cards, but a temporary reduction in fuel duty had not been ruled out. So it's not been on the table, but it's not been ruled out. So fuel duty cost does matter, absolutely. But for the rest of the actual country as well, national insurance hits every single person. Listen, those who work in terms as employees and employers. That this matters. Income tax matters. VAT matters. Fuel duty also matters. You can't just play with people's lives using these sort of things as pawns. It's absolutely disgusting the way that things are going, because right now, personally, I have no faith in Rishi Sunak's announcement tomorrow. We don't really know exactly what the reaction is going to be from the cabinet, because clearly, from what we're hearing, is that a lot of the top Tory politicians are going to wait to see the reaction from Rishi Sunak's announcement, and if the ship goes down, then they're going to jump on Boris's bandwagon and just going to continue to push out Rishi, I guess. I don't know what they're going to do. But an election, not going to solve anything in that sense. The only thing that might solve is this anger against Boris Johnson's Tory government. And they might actually kick him out, because people are so angry at Boris and the government, generally speaking, over the last 2-3 years, that they say, well, if you give us an election opportunity, we'll just vote against you. So if they want to lose, then sure, go for it. But if they're going to win, and if we fall for the same trap of empty promises, then we are the fools. And this is the problem. I'm not saying that for us to vote for Keir Starmer. Never vote for Keir Starmer. We're not that stupid. But they have to get their act together if they want to keep the country together.